Well, the race to the finals. The qualifier comes up now. We are here for the toss. The Clove challengers, they are coming up against the Nutmeg Warriors. Match referee Norman Gilbert has the coin. Let's get the toss.
Where is the call? Tail it is.
Roland, you won the toss. Tell us, what are you going to do?
We're going to have a bowl first.
Okay, you're having a bowl, looking to restrict them to what sort of total?
We're looking to restrict them anything around 100. We think that the wicket is a pretty good wicket, so if we can restrict them on that 100, that would be a good gist.
All right, your previous match, you got your team under 100. Somehow you struggled, but in the end, you pull off that victory. What can we expect from you today?
Similar as yesterday, just sticking to our plans. We have a plan in the dressing room, how we want to bowl, how we want to bowl against each player. So we just had to come out here and try and execute, and the team that stays the calmest will always end up on top. So.
All right, well, good luck to you and the Clove challengers. We're going to be speaking to the Nutmeg Warriors. Daniel, you did not win the toss, but you're being sent into bat. Tell us about the wicket and what you think a good score will be.
Yeah, I think it's a good wicket. I wanted to bowl first as well, but I think it's a good wicket. You just need to assess the wicket and play based on what you see.
All right, not a good showing with the bat yesterday. What can we expect from the boys today?
Yeah, yesterday we had a bad game, so we just look to put this behind and look forward to this game now. So, yeah.
All right, well, good luck to you as you go through the qualifier. So we are here. The action is going to start shortly. We send you back upstairs where we'll get ready for ball one.
Please, one of all could just borrow me. Let me just bring down this a little, please. This is happy tie. So you begin first? Right. What time you on? Let's go, 14:35, 26 seconds. So you see what I'm going on and say you start in 35. Start. Yeah, but they will mark the time. They will mark the time we actually start the over. Go Doobie, let's go Doobie! Leg. Leg. Thank you. Go on, Mikel. Let's go on, Mikel. Let's go on, Mikel.
So we're just about to see the first ball being bowled. It's Doobie set as Ginger Generals and taking Nutmeg Warriors rather taking first strike and playing ball first delivery played down to a third man region just past the backward point, and Fletcher picking up 4 from first delivery.
Yeah, well, lucky there, just a bit of misfield actually. The ball coming off the knees of Cut Murray there and deflecting away to the boundary for 4 ball. But it was well struck, and Joseph, who gave chase, couldn't get to it. But it's a good start. That's probably just easy enough, and of course, Andre Fletcher at the top of the innings. Says something.
Yeah, he would want to play the sort of inning that will guide the team to a rather substantial score. That first shot was well played. He came across on a good cricketing shot. He didn't try to do anything too much, but just teared past the short third man and the backward point there, picking up a boundary.
Well, I said it was sort of fortunate in the end because it did come off the body of Cut. Murray diving away. A little bit of untidy work there by Joseph. And maybe just doing the ankle. And let's see, do we set continuing with that short wide line outside the off stump. We have had some degree of success with that and certainly continuing. And Fletcher getting one of them and not really getting hold of it.
Yeah, one of his attributes is his variation. I think that one was rather slow. Fletcher having to reach for it. And as you say, his line has been consistently off stump and sometimes a little bit too wide, but he has been able to keep a good line. He's bowling to the left-handed Dujon Charles, who has impressed quite a lot in this tournament. Charles from Trinidad and Tobago.
He has been very positive and really has been, what we could say, has been the enforcer at the top of the inning.
Yes, he has been. He strikes the ball really well. And both batters would be looking for a big one in this all-important game.
Of course, it's so difficult to tell what is a good total batting force in any game. Probably can assess it until both batters, both teams have had the opportunity to use the conditions. But as you say, it's very not too difficult to assess conditions. We have had generally same type of condition right through. The pitch has never really played any different. Batters are able to play comfortably, play the short play off the front and back foot. And when the bowlers have had a chance to bend the back, they have certainly gotten response from the pitch. So no one can really complain when it comes to that aspect of things.
Yeah, good start so far. You can see Charles playing easy delivery on his merit. Again, not trying to do too much. I feel in the cover hats have a lot of work to do in that over. And that completes a very good over. 6 without loss. Have been good tight bowling. And you can see Charles not trying to do anything too rash.
That's right. And yeah. Dubisset will take that any day. Only 6 runs.
Yeah, we're probably going to see both teams looking to be very cautious.
We may not see a game like that where we see scores of 130 or 40 plus in this game. If we do, though, I'm sure it promises to be a really good one.
So umpires for this game, Imran George, also one of the gentlemen from Carriacou, and we have Isaiah Peters. Isaiah Peters, the shorter of the two, at the presiding end. And really a very important game for both teams. Darren Ned going to pick it up. Only into the attack this time around. Yes. Certainly Clove challengers probably, both teams will be going out there with a plan. But we are seeing Darren Ned a bit early into the attack. That's not the start that you would have wanted. Way down the leg side. And really good take by the keeper.
Clove can thank Darren Ned to a great extent for the position they have found themselves in here, certainly on 2 occasions. Really had to dig deep to pull them out of sort of sticky situations.
Yeah, he's a vital part of the team. I think any team that you would have played for, he has been a vital part, both to the bat and the ball. Tremendous batting ability, and a player that would have start off and really catch the cricketing fraternity when he came out and began to bowl fast. I think that is really where he caught the eyes of the authorities. But really has transformed into quite attacking and useful middle order batsman.
Of course, on 2 occasions, as you mentioned, he's into the attack early. He had to bowl the final over. On one occasion, defending 8 runs, and on the other occasion, defending 10. And he did it successfully on both occasions.
Yeah, so that strengthened the importance of him on the team. Either with bat or with ball. Scored a number of centuries in the St. Andrews League. And, one could remember even the St. David's League he played, and he did score a couple of centuries. So he's used to scoring big runs. Darren Ned. He flicked this one down to mid-wicket, the fielder, and this one goes over the boundary for the first carry, maximum first carry power hit there. But Fletcher there probably was
heart was in his
heart
mouth.
was in his mouth there. That one just went over the rope at backward square. Didn't get hold of it as he expected. But again, this shot that we always seem to be playing, lifting one leg.
Yes, the no look.
And clipping down to that backward square. But I think he
did cost him his wicket maybe in the match before.
This time he hooks. And hooks well.
Yes.
This one was in more control. And it went for another Carib power hit. He was in more control with this one. That shot and quickly it hit down to long leg for 6.
Well, this time he didn't just flick it, but it did hook it down to down behind square, for 6. Came off the middle of the bat, and already we've seen a different Andrew Fletcher, I must say.
Yeah, we haven't seen much hook shot being played, but this is one that he probably hit just from outside the shoulder, the left shoulder. So it went fine.
And it went a long way. It went out of the arena. Had to get help in retrieving it. Quite a number of balls have really gone out of the ground. Some were retrievable, some were not. We had to see a number of replacement balls as the tournament wore on.
Yeah, just some concern there. Just waiting on the umpires.
There is a what is the real issue? We can't tell.
Yeah, just seemed to be some concern there. See the umpire. Probably. I don't think it's. Maybe they're checking. I don't know if it's a no ball.
Well, that's the one for the over.
Oh, just checking the height.
Which is strange, though.
Pretty responsible batting by Fletcher. I want to see some intent. Reference him looking to stay, which is what we expect to see from our top batters, that they bat as long as possible, take the lead. And if they do, more than often the team is going to get good score.
Of course, Andre Fletcher, who has played at various franchises around the world, one of the most experienced players in the region at the moment. I've virtually been to all the major leagues in the world.
Yes, he would have done quite a bit, quite a tour all around the world. So easily the most experienced of our players.
And recognizable. I think it's the name Andre Fletcher does reverberate around the cricketing world. The cricketing world would know about Andre Fletcher.
I think all year in the year he also would have played in the Trinidad and Tobago League.
He's been around for a while now. Since
Paul. And pulled magnificently, short delivery, and really the full treatment. Came off the middle of the bat and rocketed to that mid-wicket boundary for 4.
yes, and so easy on the eye. He just swivels basically and pull the left foot out of the way and bang it, no risk whatsoever. And that didn't look to hit it up, kept it down basically, and it raced away to the boundary for 4. So 26 without loss. And for once, I wouldn't mention about wickets falling in first and second over. Maybe we are putting the wood on these batters when we say such things. So.
Well, you know what happens when sometimes we speak too quickly. Well, it has been a confident start.
Yeah.
Ball came off the middle of the bat.
And a bubble again there. That's the second time we've seen a little bubble from Cut Murray. And maybe just filling in a little, but maybe just filling in an area where there may be a little bit of rough.
Yeah, a bit careless there, ball. And if it did bounce away from him, but again, what is important, if Fletcher didn't try to do much. Good shot of a linky on it, was on his back foot and just placed it.
Despite his 10 overs, he won that base, to build on. And another magnificent shot again. And, almost not a man move. Exactly between the gap. Split the gap really. The man had made off for the man at extra cover. And 1-2 bounces probably away to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, pitch up, well played.
Yes, one bounce.
Yeah, what Charles would have done was to move closer to the pitch of the ball, and he hit it cleanly. As you said, no danger. To the right of the long off, to the left of the extra cover.
So far, what we have seen is just proper cricket shots, nothing too extravagant. Yet there are 31 without loss.
Yeah, as I said before, one just have to be positive and have the approach right. This one is struck well, it's struck straight. And the fielder on the long on boundary had no chance. And that went just one bounce over the roof for 4. So look at, as you see again, he had to move to the offside to get a little closer to the line of the ball. He did that successfully and was able to hit it straight back over long on and over the long on area. So he has picked up his second boundary. 35 without loss to be set. Hit. This one goes over cover. Backward point and yet another boundary. Shorter delivery there from Dubisset again, looking for the variation, but too short and wide. And Charles had all the time in the world. The reach to hit it over point for 4.
Yes, again, another safe shot, well away from anyone. And I think the Clove challengers has to be very careful here. This is a very dangerous partnership, this one. I would probably want to see the back of one of them very soon.
Yeah, this is a critical period, critical partnership. Good slow delivery. What is good with this opening stand, as we have the completion of the third over, going at 13 runs, 39 without loss. What was so important in this pair batting, they seem to be playing almost each ball on merit. They have not been taking much chances. We look at the boundaries that have been struck, and really is proper shots. That last 4 that was hit there by Charles, even though it was away from him, but he was across and hit it easily over backward point. So it gives one the impression that there is a definite effort, really the approach, that they do it right.
Well, it leaves to be seen how they will now approach the middle overs. The power play is done and dusted. 39 runs. I think they have played the power play very well indeed. You do not want to lose wickets in your power play, and of course you want to be able to lay a foundation, solid foundation, and this is one. Andrew Fletcher is 24. Charles is 13 from 9. Both men face 9 delivery. Fletcher has almost doubled though the output of Charles.
As we look back at the first encounter between these two teams, I think that's what 9 overs were. Remember that Nutmeg Warriors scored, I think it was 110. 9 overs. It was a good score. And it was blown away by the Clove challengers. So they would want to turn the tide in this one, Nutmeg Warriors. And they again batting first. We are confident this time that we'll have a full 10 overs. As condition remains splendid for cricket. But Andrew Fletcher.
Probably not happy with that. Probably could have felt that he could have done better. Maybe 2 meters to the left or to the right of the fielder could have brought him a boundary. But you don't want to be overhitting, trying to overhit the ball. You just want to time it properly. They've had a good start.
Very quiet period. As we see, Nutmeg Warriors look very focused. Fletcher is hitting high in the air, comes up the edge. Let's see if Fila is coming.
Oh, and can't get to it.
Drops in no man's land. Again, first delivery ball there by Teron Hippolyte, off spinner. This is one of the first shot we have seen where the batsman had to reach for it and didn't move to it. The ball almost paid the price there.
I almost want to think that Keto hasn't been moving. He's taken a couple of good catches, but he's not the best of movers in the field. And probably just luckily for Fletcher that Keto was the one closest to it.
But just driven straight. And Charles hitting his first carry power hit maximum as he went straight and hitting over the long on fielder for 6. Again, good shot.
He didn't ask for a new bat immediately that he played the shot. Maybe he wasn't happy with the way it feels. Sometimes throwing your bat in and maybe the timing isn't right, or don't matter what is on a given day, the ball just doesn't feel right on a particular bat.
Charles is hitting this one for another maximum carry power hit. And this one going further than the one before. He continues to show this ability he has to hit 6 rather easily. That brings up the 50. So he quickly moves it to 25. And
Neck again, 25 from 11, 25 from 11. So both batters really going at the same pace. 50 has come up.
Hit down to cover.
So the 50 coming up in the 4th over. Still the run rate just over in around 13, 13, just under 14.
Yeah, Charles look a really good player, a good striker of the ball. I remember him hitting 8 sixes in one of the innings. He already hit 3 in this one. And that completes the 4th over. And Hippolyte going for 14 in his first over. Nutmeg Warriors, they are 53 without loss.
And Fletcher there probably feeling he could have done better. Not, I don't know what it was. Someone saw him throwing his bat to the ground. But seems really up for it here this evening.
Yeah, and importantly, it seems as though it's Daniel McDonald that's actually leading the team.
Yes.
He probably just want to take a break and focus on this important game. Fletcher didn't play yesterday, but I guess was really planning and building himself for this important game.
Yes. So 26 to Charles.
I really like the way that Charles play, how he strike the ball. And most of the deliveries, he's hitting it straight, not hitting too much across the line. So you're going to face Court Murray, left arm spinner.
Well, I've had some success too, though. Court Murray has picked up some wickets. He's had some success. I think that's also an important time in the game with Murray on. I think if he doesn't go for a lot, if he does go for quite a bit, I think we can safely say that the pressure would really be on as the race was on there. But of course, Duby set giving chase, and it seemed like it was a wide delivery. So 5 wides, and these are the things in games like this, in tight games like this, that probably would make a difference at the end of the game.
So Murray there looking to push the ball wide as he realized that Charles is looking to come after him. This one was very wide. Keeper was not able to hold on. Full toss and hit straight back for 4. Even though it was a full toss, he had to hit it well.
I hit it properly, yes.
And he did do that, hit it back over the umpire's head, over the bowler's head for 4.
Safest option.
62 without loss. Another really good start by the Nutmeg Warriors. Charles moved to 30. He has really impressed. I do like the way that he hits the ball. Not to say that he's playing atrocious shots, but really he's playing proper cricket shots.
Probably just checking the height there. The umpire just holding up the ball at his end. Charles is a tall man, very tall, well built, and just pack some power.
Yeah, and you can see clearly his intention there of Court Murray. Right up, just outside the off stump, causing the batter to having to reach for it.
Right up there. Not allow him to free his arms at all. It's the area Murray will look to bowl a very full length most of the time.
Yeah, he probably would certainly respect the power of Charles. So really not giving him much here, but putting it right up. And Charles had the opportunity to get under this one. Sort of dragged it down to long on.
He's gone to 31, 25 to Fletcher. 63 for no loss.
A loud
And
appeal,
he's
Fletcher
gone.
goes. Loud appeal again. This is probably the first time we've seen him play a post shot there. You're looking to hit this one from outside the off stump. And edge taken, and the keeper went up feeling jubilation as Fletcher goes caught behind. A good breakthrough there for the Clove challengers.
Yes, and a big wicket taken there by Murray. As I said, if he travels, well, they're in trouble. But if he bowls well, there's always a chance that he can get, you know. And there he is going for the drive. And probably just a little inside edge. And the catch taken.
Yeah, having to reach for that delivery. And we have seen it happen more often than not when the players having to reach for those deliveries. They all find themselves in difficulty. Either they're going to drag it to the onside. They wouldn't get much power. In this case, he's taking the outside edge. And the Clove challengers jubilant. The fact that they are picking up the first wicket, 63 for 1, 4.5 overs. And the wicket of Andrew Fletcher, who went caught behind of the bowling of Court Murray for 25. That's a welcome, Stevenson, this afternoon. Good evening.
Good breakthrough there for Clove challengers. Good afternoon, Refill. And we've got a good match on hand here. 63 for 1 suggests a good start.
Yeah, it has been a good start. I think they, as I said before, they was very intent in terms of the start that they had. Not being very rash, but looking to play each ball on merit. That probably would have been the first shot that we are seeing, out of context in terms of how they would have approached the inning. And Fletcher just getting an edge on this one and taken by the keeper.
Yes. Very good start. It's the halfway stage of the innings. With 5 gone. I think the Nutmeg Warriors would want to double that. 63 for 1. At the end of 10, they should be about 130. That's what they would be looking for, or a little more than that. But they would certainly want to double that score at the halfway mark.
Yeah, I would think 140, they would be very happy to get up to 140. And they can. Charles have been playing a tremendous inning, striking the ball really well.
Yeah, 31 up 16, pretty good. And Ramdul's got a fine opportunity here to establish himself and to show that he's an authentic number 3 T10 player. The stage is set for him. The stage is set for Charles too. And the stage is set for a pretty decent total here from Nutmeg Warriors. Clove challengers, they're going to challenge them. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, they have been challenging everyone right through. Driven down to long off. Fielder come around there. And they probably will have to check that. Let's see what the umpire is going to say there. One got the impression that just one of his feet were outside as he stopped that ball. But let's see what the umpires see about this. Yeah, good work. Good
Yeah,
work.
good work.
Good work.
Really
Actually
good work.
stops. Really good work.
That ball was traveling very quickly, and had to just parry it back.
Yeah, they're just checking. But good work by Murray. He came around quickly. Just stopped it before he went over the rope.
Yeah, it looks rather safe here. There's nothing untoward about it. He is confident that he got the ball inside the playing area, but the umpires are doing the right thing just to confirm that it's authentic and it's safe. But from what we've seen, and we've seen the replay already suggest that the ball was pulled back inside the boundary line. So just a little bit of a delay here, but that would be aborted soon, and we should be continuing with 2 runs and not a boundary.
Yeah, really the conditions continue to remain very good.
Yes, it is really lovely. Bright sunshine. And there is absolutely no indication of rain at all. Just the ideal playing conditions for the players out there. Yeah, you could expect to see an aggressive game here, Rafael. At 65 for 1, both teams got very good players, so they'll be going all out at each other. And in the end, those who play the wiser, more aggressive game will turn out to be the winner of this contest.
Yeah, and I agree to do that. That both teams are all going to win, and based on the start we would have seen from Nutmeg Warriors, it was very clear that batting first, they intend to get a big score. 63 being added, and we saw both batters, looking to play each ball on his merit, not to take more chances. That first 63 runs, I think they batted well. And really, the first fall shot that we would have seen probably came from Andrew Fletcher. And he lost his wicket in the process. But very clear in terms of their intention as they approach this game that can be considered a final.
Yes, very interesting contest out there. So they're going to feel out each other. They're going to challenge each other. And as I said before, the one who plays the more astute cricket is going to come out at the top.
This one goes fine, and it's going to go down to the boundary for 4. Again, the left-handed Ramdu, they're getting inside of this one. And probably didn't get much bat on it, but went fine. And went down to the boundary for 4.
Leg byes signal confirmed by the umpire. Yes, must have taken maybe the arm or the hip.
Yeah, just seemed to come high up on the hip, on the thigh. And it went down for 4.
4 welcome runs.
Yeah, they wouldn't mind how it come, but need the boundaries, need the runs. Joseph. Wayward again, looking for, I would think, pace here, Sheldon Joseph.
Yeah, we've talked about the players and we've been able to scrutinize them and analyze the individual performances. I think we also have to give tremendous credit to the officials who officiated in this game, and they've done a pretty good job. We've been in high praise for the ground staff.
A lovely play down to over third man for 4. Short delivery, and Ramdu getting under this one and lift it, place it over that third man, which was fine and short, and picked up really a welcome boundary.
Yeah, I like that shot. We've seen that sort of shot very often in the tournament, shot outside the off stump, and rather than getting on top of the ball, getting under it and lifting it down to third man.
Yeah, and one of the things, it's a good shot. Probably we should be seeing a lot more of those sort of shots. We find that some of the batsmen looking to take it even from outside there, to swing it somewhere on the onside. And many a times, it's lofted up in mid-on, as the case may be, but it's really a good shot to play.
Yes, a good productive shot to play. Quite a number of players got their demise, as you intimated, with deliveries that were shot outside the off stump and around the head or neck area and chest area too, and looking to get inside the line to pull rather than doing what Ramdu did there, and that is to get under it and glide it down to third man. It is an effective shot. The third man in that case was shot in, so it wasn't risky by any stretch of imagination. So 6 overs gone and 76 for 1. Still another 4 to go. They want another between 40 or 50 runs in those last 4 overs. So it's been an intensive tournament so far, and players have not had much time to rest. They've been playing regularly. I think after the tournament, some of them will just take a breather. That one is pulled through the wideish mid-on area and it's gone over the boundary line. It was short and Ramdu was onto the back foot very quickly and pulled it and dropped inside the line. It was 4 signal.
Yeah, just one bounce.
Yes.
One bounce.
Nice shot, really nice. He's going again. This time he gets it out to a wideish long off and gets a single. The return comes in very quickly.
We haven't seen much of Ramdu, but this inning he looks, really looks the part. Striking the ball well.
Yeah, he's 11 of 7.
Yeah, interesting delivery there. One suspect that the movement of Charles, the umpire didn't signal a wide there.
Yeah, they'll be searching for 2 here. No, decided against it. So 7 overs gone. Nutmeg Warriors. They're 83 for 1. 83 for 1 with Charles, the John Charles, not out 38 of 20. And Ramdu, not at 12, 9 deliveries. These two would want to just push on and push on quickly. The other thing going for them is there is the left and right combination. So that's going to help.
Yeah, but we're actually both left-handers.
Sorry, Refill, beg your pardon.
But I think they have no seem to get a hold of how things are going there. And it will be good for Nutmeg Warriors for these 2 players to bat stay on at least about as long as just 3 overs to go at 83 for 1. But Charles in particular have shown that he really has the ability to take charge, take any bowler apart. And therefore it will be really important for him to bat to the end.
Yeah, we're taking strike here now, getting into over number 8. Pretty spread field with the third man, which will be pushed right back on the boundary. The backward point is going to be just about halfway there. Then there is a sweeper, extra cover and a long off, long on also. Hit down to mid-off and they get a single.
Yeah, have been able to slow things down a bit in the last couple overs. Clove challengers, they were at one time going as much as 14, down to 11.72. Shell and Joseph in his second over. Ball hit well down to over the field at mid-off for another maximum carry power hit. And Charles continued to show that great ability that he has in hitting sixes.
Yeah, beautiful shot. Got to the pitch of it and didn't try to hit it straight. Decided to go over the long off area. And it went, I would think, about 10 yards over the boundary line. That was a fine shot. Really, really lovely. Had just the kind of height that he wanted. Maybe about 25 meters in terms of height.
So he's 44 from 21. Again, good bowling by Joseph. He's shorter and slower. All he could do is just tuck it down to mid-off. He moves to 45 and does indicate a change of bat. 91 for 1 into the 8th over. So Ramdu.
Good total here, really good total. Just looked a little bit out of shape there, Ramdu, as he maybe for a moment thought about tugging it through the onside. The ball went out to extra cover. They got a single though. It's 14 of 11. He'd want to look at that strike rate and bring it up. Ball struck down to long on for another single. So the intermittent boundary here and there, run rate 11.87, so it has dropped slightly to from what it was a little earlier on.
Hit over cover and goes down to the boundary for 4. Given the room there, and Kyle Ramdu, you're slashing it, went high over cover, safe shot, and picking up another 4.
Yeah, well, it was short, and he, as you said, gave himself room and went after it hard. And that's how important it is when you're going to be flashing, and he did flash, to make sure you flash hard, and he did that and went away just behind the square cover boundary for 4.
So 2 overs to go, 97 for 1. So I think we probably might be bordering 120.
Yeah, I would reckon about that.
Projected score 121.
If they can get 10 of each over here, it'll bring them close to that 121, but they would want to go for more than that, I would think, just to be on the safe side. Early on, it looked as though they will get up to about 130 with the rate with which they were going at the time. Now things have slowed down a bit, but this is the final 2.
Lofted, straight, massive hit, carry power hit, ball pitch up, and Charles brings up his 50. A tremendous shot for 6.
Great shot to punctuate, to put an exclamation on the landmark, and the landmark of 50, 52 he's got to now of 24. That was a very emphatic way to get to 50. Well played. Never lost his shape. Didn't look to hit it too hard. The timing was the significant factor of that shot.
Has now hit his 4th 6. He pulled it into his second over. Gone again. Oh, this time it goes high. And the fielder at mid-wicket had to look at it. It went even for a bigger 6.
Yeah, well, he couldn't do anything about that down at mid-wicket. You know, when you're helpless in a situation, that was the case there. He was onto the back foot and hit it hard, and that's where he wanted it to go. Only one way, and that was over the boundary line. And to do that, you've got to get under it. He did it, went under it, and lifted it high and wide and handsome. It was a majestic shot. Went soaring over mid-wicket. 6 runs. Carry power hit maximum. Well played. Great shot.
Yeah, and that a clear defense in. And that's outside of the boundary. And those of you who know Lassages, it would have really gone over the trees, over the wall, and really had been a big hit. Would have been 6 in most grounds around the wall.
Any ground around the wall, that tells you how big that was.
Yeah.
That was huge. Whether you're in Melbourne or Adelaide, wherever, it's going to be 6. Great shot.
So that's the 5th 6 Charles would have hit in and of 58. You would have hit some 8 6s in and of 68 early on in the week. So really possessed the ability to hit the ball out of the ground.
Yes, he's oozing with confidence. The confidence factor has enveloped him. And while he's on this roll, he needs to continue.
109 for 1 into the 9th over. And Hippolyte, some rough treatment there, driven to cover. Picks up a single.
I think the admirable thing about it, Rafa, is the ease with which he plays. It's not just about putting all the muscles and shoulders into the shot, but his timing has been a great emblem to look at.
Yeah, what he seems to be doing is to get close to the delivery. Ball off stump line, you try to get as close to the off stump as possible. I mean, it might be interesting to check on the guard he's batting, because in cases like that, you want to, with the bowlers looking to aim for the off stump and wide of the off stump, sometimes you have to change your guard just to get a little closer to the off stump. It's lifted once again, another maximum carry power hit, ball pitched up. And I wonder if this one went further.
I don't know, but it will be a big competition between both of them, the previous one and this one, as to which went the furthest. It was a great hit. He didn't bother to move. In fact, nobody on the field moved, because from the moment it left the bat and it went airborne, you knew that it was going to be 6 runs. And it cleared the boundary rope very, very easily. Went beyond, I would think, maybe for another 15 yards. Fine shot. There will be a ball replacement. Wow.
And
great shot.
When nobody moves on the field, it tells you that it's like it's out of the facility.
Yes. Yes.
A really tremendous shot. And as you have been saying before, it's not that there's no drama in terms of him playing the shot. He just plays through the line. He gets himself into a really good position. So when he plays those shots, you know, I mean, the timing, that is so important. Yeah, and it's clearly seen with those shots sailing out over the boundary.
Yes, he is. He's got good eyes, good hands too. But looks technically genuine also. Hippolyte's been treated very, very harshly. Well bowled though. And what initially was looking maybe at a score of 120 before the end of this over might well be closer to 130.
Well, they probably may still try to get up to 140. 21 runs coming off that over. Really has been a good over for the Nutmeg Warriors. Charles on 66. Yeah, and so far he has hit some 6 sixes.
Yeah, 118 for 1 of 9. Suggests that it is a pretty good score. It'll take a bit of hitting to get there, to eclipse, to overhaul it, whatever the total will be at the end, which we suspect might be up to about 130. Ramdo's played his role well, 19 of 13. Not a cavalier approach, not as powerful and accelerated as the 66 of 28 by Charles.
So Ned, final over. Out, caught at the wicket. Again, short delivery there, and Charles again looking for that favorite shot of his to pull somewhere over mid-wicket. Let's see. Taking the outside edge there. Not short enough, but at last over you'll want to really try and get as much as you can. Has been a tremendous inning.
Great innings by Charles. Good catch, because the ball was sort of dying when it got to keeper Charles. Took it down by the ankle area. But you really cannot stop this Darren Ned. He's such a fine player. And when called upon to execute, when called upon to produce, he has done so quite outstandingly, and it's done so already here into his second over. He's got one for 16. He's picked up the prize wicket of Charles, sent him back to the pavilion.
Yes, it's good that you could have come back and pick up that wicket. Charles would have treated him roughly in the first over, as you realize that you would have gone for 16 in the first over. Now coming back in the second over, picking up that wicket in the first delivery. But what was noticeable about Charles there in terms of his batting, he made a couple steps to the offside so he could get closer to delivery. Hit this one, hit straight. And the fielder coming around for mid-off. So a single. Couple steps in the wicket, which means they bring his body closer to the line of the ball. And I think this is why he has been able to hit the ball so cleanly and time so sweetly. This one, again, was wide off the off stump and really had to make a lot of movement to get there. He really played a good inning. I think it's one of the players who would have impressed in the C10 tournament.
Yeah. Got some really good players showcased here in this tournament. And if they really take the game seriously and work hard, the sky is the limit.
This one is swung down to mid-wicket. Let's see, goes across the road for 4. Shortest delivery, and Daniel McDonald, who also has that tremendous ability to hit the ball very hard and far. Picked it up and hit it down to mid-wicket. That's over the mid-wicket fielder. And he picked up his first boundary.
Yeah, he cued it well. Had sufficient time to get inside the line of the ball and pull it through mid-wicket. Fine shot it was.
Driven, this goes high in the air. And Keith Anderson comes in, dropped there by Jackson, and really is run out. Just wasn't able to make it back. But some confusion between Keito and Jackson. I thought that Jackson thought Keito was going, and Keito actually stopped, thinking Jackson would have get there.
Yeah, but he was coming in. So Jackson coming in, which would be an easier proposition for the catch rather than a fielder going back. But this ground is not a noisy ground, so there could have been the shout of my catch, my ball. It's so important to say something so that the other fielders would know what should be done, especially when both fielders are in close proximity.
was good that Jackson was able to still pick up and look to get the run out. And the keeper there in moving really quickly to knock down the stumps. He didn't just hit it, but really crash into the stumps. 124 for 2. 2 deliveries remaining. So they may just seemingly fall under the 130. Let's see how close they're going to get to 130.
To get that, they may need to hit a boundary here.
Darren Ned. Ball hit, and certainly it passes the 130. Power hit. Slow ball seemed to have attempted and picked up and hit over mid-wicket for 6.
That was a fine shot, really fine. Look how he just made a little bit of room, cleared the front foot, got the front foot out of the way and picked it up, wanted to go leg side, and he did. And he went big, leg side, impressive hit, and it went all the way. A wonderful way to climax the innings with a huge 6 over mid-wicket. And so Clove challengers, they would have a pretty big total to challenge. Nutmeg Warriors posting a good score, 132 for 3 of 10 overs. The challengers would need to overhaul that in 10. So they've got to be scoring at about 13.33 to get to that. So let's look at the bowling. Ned had 1 for 30, a bit expensive. None for 23 was Dubisette. Darren Hippolyte got slaughtered, none for 35 of 2. Kurt Murray is bowled well throughout the tournament, 1 for 17 of 2. And Sheldon Joseph, expensive. Well, no, just about average in that he went for 23 of 2. So that's the bowling there for Clove challengers. And let's just recap a bit about the batting. Fletcher and Charles got off to a great start before Fletcher went for 25 of 13, had 2 4s and 2 6s in his innings, but the innings of the inning, so to speak, was that of the John Charles, who scored 66 in 29 balls, 5 4s and 5 6s. It was a boundary pregnant innings, and he batted very well. Well, McDowell was not out, 7 of 3, and Andrew, the keeper, not out, 6 of 1. A big hit to end the over and to end the tally. So the Clove challengers, they will seek to challenge that. Nutmeg Warriors 132 for 3, with Charles 66, Fletcher 23, and Ramdu 16. Ned 1 for 34, Murray 1 for 17. Those were the main performers in this inning so far. So 133 for victory of 10. Can the Clove challengers challenge that? We'll be there on hand to bring you the run chase. So welcome back here, the Nutmeg. Sorry, this last of the playing field where Nutmeg Warriors, of course, scored 132 for 3. And Clove Challengers, they need, well, 133 to win of 10 overs. We should have a pretty interesting match on hand here. So here is going to be the first ball, which is sprayed down the leg side, and Andrew had to really dive across to his left. That may have well have gone close down to the fine leg boundary. Bad delivery by Josh Thomas. They usually call it the loosener. You can't have many looseners when you're playing 10-10. Coming forward, driving, the ball goes out to mid-off, the catch is taken. And so Clove Challengers have lost their first wicket with Jackson coming forward and driving. And so they've lost their first. Gone, caught there by Fletcher. Just a one delivery. And so, well, what a way to start. Not the best start in the world, and a very good player that they depend on, going rather cheaply. And Clove Challengers in the first over, they're 1 for 1.
Yeah, Jackson there just hitting that ball straight to cover, straight to mid-off, not getting over it. And you could see him just stretching and driving it. And he didn't really hit it hard, just looked to probably place it. Well, I think he needed to get closer to that delivery and either to hit it over the top or if you wanted it on the ground. But you'll be disappointed in not being able to do much more with that delivery. It was over pitch and hit it straight to mid-off.
Yeah, so Cato has come to replace Jackson. He's got a bit of restoration, repair work to do. Here is Thomas to bowl to Cato. Delivery way down the leg side, and that's going to go for 4. 4 wide, signaled by the umpire now. That's the second time he has really strayed outside the leg stump. And a difficult take it was for Andrews, who went sprawling. He really dived in quite spectacular manner to his left, but wasn't able to cut that off at all. And so it's gone to the boundary. 6 runs now on the board. First attempt of the wide one was held, not this time. Driving up to straightish mid wicket. That's Cato and gets a single. So he's off the mark. Cato brings now Charles into strike. So a lot would depend on these two. Both of them are experienced players. Outside the off stump, off the back foot. The weight was onto the back foot, and he flashed that through backward point, and that raced away to the boundary. Bended knees. Lovely shot. Yes, that was nice. Came off the bat sweetly. And it went just behind point for 4. Beautifully hit. He's off the mark in quite dramatic manner.
Yeah, tough shot by Samuel. Ball pitched up with his weight on his back foot. Just played it nicely, square on the offside, and be picking a gap. The race across the outfield. Good looking for there.
Yeah, really was hit well. I think he saw it, and there was a sort of spectacular manner in which he hit it. He enjoyed it, no doubt about that. It's been an indifferent over by Josh Thomas. Got a wicket, yes. But he sprayed a couple of them down the leg side. Oh, Allah, Allah, Andre Fletcher. No look, they call it. That was pitched up on the pad. And he lifted that over mid wicket. Let's see this again. Gosh, I like it. Yes, they call it no look. And just to explain, it doesn't mean that the batsman doesn't look at the ball. He's got to look at it to hit it. But after he hits the ball, does not look in the direction of the flight of the ball. It's one of those.
Yeah, good shot. Good shot. Played there
It's one for the
by
camera, isn't
Samuel
it?
Charles. Full on his legs and give it the right treatment.
Yeah, and had a bit of recoil after hitting it. I love that. I really love that. Well played,
Yeah,
Charles.
really indifferent over. Still in the first over, 15.
Well. I think he has taken maybe the push back the middle stump. So Charles, after having a beautiful 4, has been knocked over by Thomas. And so they've lost the second wicket. Let's look at it here. This is the replay. Yeah. What looked like the middle or the leg stump?
Yeah,
Rachel?
middle and leg. Poor shot there by Charles. After hitting such a beautiful shot, swing right across that delivery. And ball crashing into the stump. All he had to do was to play straight. And he could even hit through the line. But here he goes swinging across it. And that ball probably crashing into the leg stump. So another big blow struck there by Nutmeg Warriors. They would really want to reverse what would have happened in their first meeting.
Yeah, so 15 runs coming off the first over, which is rather expensive. But Thomas has picked up 2. And I think that's what's most important. We see this again. Yeah, the leg stump struck. And his head was in the air, suggesting that he didn't really look at the ball carefully onto the bat. Maybe there was a bit of premeditation in that shot. 1 over gone, 15 for 2. Brings Darren Ned to join Cato.
And this would be a very important partnership here. This is 2 of the top players. Ned, you know, who would have produced both with bat and ball. And they will need to consolidate position.
Belfon bowls to Cato, turns it down to backward square. They've hustled for 1 and sort of stuttered a bit. Started and stopped, but in the end, Cato decided to come back for the second and they got it. There was always going to be 2, so just wondered why there was that bit of hesitation to attempt the second run. In the end, they did.
Yeah, I don't think they run the first one rather quickly. And you see, Cato, they really having to hurry back for the second. This partnership will be very, very important for Clove challengers.
Yeah, you're right. Might be a crucial one, too. Belfon, ball is pushed up to mid-on. Fletcher comes in and sends a harsh return back to the keeper. By this time, Andrew was up to the stumps. So, challengers after a bad start, not in regards to the run rate, but the fact that they've lost a couple of wickets, important wickets too.
This is probably the worst start in the tournament, losing 2 wickets so early.
Ned facing up to Belfon. And driving well. Does it go all the way as for 4? Well, it was almost like an innocuous shot, really, because never looked like 4. Look at how easily he drove the ball. Let's look at it again. Yeah, but it didn't look like 4. It beat the extra cover. And once it went past him, because this is the power play, It went for 4, but it was a fine shot. It really was. All the tools on the board. Now it's 22 for 2.
Yeah, good shot by Ned, really good timing. Just got across and stroked it, and the minute time picked the gap. Down to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, he's such a fine player. He could be brutal when he is in an aggressive frame of mind. Can hit the ball thunderously hard. But if you do want him to play a disciplined innings, he does have that ability too. Here's Belfon. Cato looking to pull a short rising delivery would be signal as a no ball. Wide rather. Wide the signal. Yeah, it was a wide, sorry. Yeah, went over the head of the batsman. That was right. So Belfon will have to bowl that over. But it was a good aggressive delivery. Just testing the metal.
And even at this stage, still being able to get a ball to bounce. And speaks to the quality of the pitch.
Yes, it's been a great pitch. Well, both pitches have played so very well. Just turning that out on the outside, they get a single. So I don't think the run rate is the issue now because they're scoring at 14.40. But the fact that they've lost a couple of wickets, that's going to be a bit of a disadvantage. And how crucial this might turn out to be, impacting the outcome of the game, you'll never know. Wickets intact is always so valuable. Belfon to Ned. Ned is pushing that up on the offside and gets a comfortable single. Good cricket here. Not trying to rush the brush, as they say it. Over has come to an end. 2 overs gone. And Clove challenges their 26 for 2.
Yeah, and as you rightly say, and don't try to rush it too much. I think they're still going at a good rate, 13 runs per an over. And therefore, need to play smart cricket from here on in. But this pair that is in the wicket is really crucial to the chances of Clove challengers. Nutmeg Warriors, on the other hand, would be happy to have picked up 2 wickets in the first 2 overs.
Yeah, the teams have been cheeky with each other. And in the end, one of them will have the final cheekiness or laughter perhaps, all done in good blood and in good faith. So Enoch to Saint, change of bowling from the far end. And he's going to get ready to bowl to Ned, who is 6 of 3. So here he is in now and bowls to Ned. And Ned is coming forward and hitting that lovely over mid-on, it looks like.
Over long off.
Long off, rather. It went a little straighter. It's a little hazy in the background. Wasn't able to pick it up, but it went all the way for a carry palm hit maximum. He hit it with consummate ease. Nice shot. Good pickup.
Yeah, ball pitched up and Darren did move into it and hit it sweetly over long off for 6.
Oh, I love that one. I really love that shot. That one was short outside the off stump. And Ned leapt off the ground. Oh my golly, that was a great shot. Leapt off the ground and uppercut it down to the boundary flexures there, but wasn't able to get anywhere close to that. That was a lovely shot. Good innovation. We spoke about that early on.
Yeah,
Helping it over third man rather than trying to pull.
Yeah, magnificent shot. And it went a long way over the third man area for 6. And
Both feet off the ground, Refill.
he's such a quality player.
This time he gets inside the line, clips it nicely. Down to backward square. Oh, this is really good batting by Ned. He has raced on to 19 of 6. I will remember that shot for a long time.
Yeah, it could be one of the shots of the match.
Yes.
It's traveled a long way.
To Saint, to Cato. Cato there's an appeal for caught behind. Gone. Well, he looked a little uncertain about that delivery. And he was looking, just came outside the observer, and then, it was a good delivery, really, because that one touched down and moved away off the seam just enough. The edge taken, the catch taken behind the stumps. And so Clove challengers, they've lost a very important wicket in Cato. Well, rather, it's given.
Yeah, well, it actually it's
leg before.
Leg before. And it actually hit the back leg. So it was a...
The keeper was going up in jubilation, looked as though he had held the ball, but was in fact out leg before. Let's look at it again.
It was a poor shot
outside.
there.
Yeah.
Really poor shot that he came and looked to hit it. Played right across it. Probably they couldn't hit it too square. And really there was no doubt there. That ball would have crashed into the stump. So a really massive blow struck there by Nutmeg Warriors to remove Cato.
So Cato is gone. And Javed Hazard has replaced him.
So 39 for 3, as you would have said. There's no issue in terms of the rate of scoring. But now they have lost 3 wickets.
Toussaint is attacked by Hazard and lifted that for a Carib power hit maximum. Sweetly timed. Look how he came forward and drove it. Hit it straight as ever. No use of the wrist in terms of opening the face or closing it. Just sought to go straight down the ground. That was well hit. 45 for 3 now. This time, he's off the back foot and pulls that down.
Well, it's a bad miss. It's gone for 6. It really should have been taken on the backward square boundary there. We will look at the replay there. But Keane, the ball hit down to the fielder at backward square, coming off the hands, and just seemed to have gone over the rope.
Yes, the umpire has signaled 6. It was a short delivery, and he sort of helped it on his way. So, another maximum there, the 50 coming. Hazard has struck 2 blows, both of which have yielded 6s. So he's gotten to 12 of 2. 3 overs gone. The run rate 17 exactly is 51 for 3.
Yeah, healthy run rate. Way over the rate required. Clove challengers have lost 3 important wickets.
Yeah, Cato has had a really bad run.
Yeah, Cato have not done well in the last few games. I know that the Clove challengers didn't score heavy in the last 2 games. I think those scores of 110 and 78. but
Yeah.
has really started a good run rate. Again, losing wickets.
Jean Charles to Ned. Ned is off the back foot and pulls that. And in fact was able to beat the fielder down at mid-wicket and went for 4. Just not sure whether that effort was the best in the world. Let's look and see the reaction of the field. Well, he hit that very hard and really dived, but the ball was struck very firm indeed.
Yeah, I think it was beaten by the pace of the ball. It traveled really quickly down to that mid-wicket region. And the fielder, they a bit late in trying to get down.
Yeah, it's gone now to 23, Ned of 7. He's really, really galloping here. This time he's driving. He didn't time it as well as he liked, but got a single. Brings Hazard into strike. And he would want to create a hazard here for Nutmeg Warriors. Can he do so? He's done pretty well so far. 12 of 2. Off the back foot. Hits that hard. They've gone for 1. Thought about the second run. Decided against it. The return came in very quickly. Fielders on the onside were all closing in. Just in the event that there were going to be an overthrow. Didn't happen. The keeper was on hand to collect. This is turning out to be a fine match. Competitive so far. Charles to Ned, who is coming forward. Opens the face of the bat and glides it just a little to the left of square, the point area, and they got 1. Over number 4 in progress.
Yeah, and really sensible batting. Not looking to hit the skin off of each delivery. And they just comfortably pushing on the offside, picking up the singles. So they're not only looking for the boundaries, so picking up the singles.
Bowls to Hazard, lifts that one. It's going, it's going, it's going, it's gone. That's a huge hit over mid-wicket. And Fletcher, who is down there at wideish long on, could only stand and stare helplessly as the ball went over him. Fine shot. And the rush now to 64 for 3. That was a big hit. Partnership 25. 6.1 overs remaining. They're on course. Here is Charles. Bowls. And clips that over the backward square, and that's 4 more. Well, he almost toyed with the bowler then. Just made a little bit of shuffle down the track. Here's the little shuffle there, went outside the line, and that was skillfully done with great dexterity and lifted that behind square for 4. That was a great shot, great innovation.
Yeah, very good improvisation, a very good shot. See, it was outside the off stump, and he really had to get his body kind of outside of that delivery and really lifted it. And he actually split the 2 fielders, the short fine leg and then the backward square, and actually dropped just over the head between both fielders and went down to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, it was quite an amazing shot, that. Innovation, they call it.
So sort of still a rapid start there by Clove. 68 for 3, Clove challengers. Only 4 overs in being completed.
Ned has gone very quickly to the quarter century mark. He's 25 of 9. And even more impressive would be Hazard, who is 23 of 5. So his strike rate is faster. Down the leg side, looking to sweep, gets it down to fine leg. Let's see what the umpire would say. The umpire would say that it's a leg bye. This is a lovely match. 64 needed in 35. There's an appeal for a stumping as Fletcher is bowling from the far end. Well, they're probably going to go upstairs. Yeah, they will go upstairs. The square leg umpire has called for the third eye. It's interesting, though, because Fletcher, who bowls the leg spin, but ever so often holds the ball like a fast bowler and digs it in, pitches it swift and fast, and at times too, Raphael gets the ball to bounce, as in that case.
Yes, it certainly was a quicker one. Fletcher, with his experience, will use a lot of variation. And that one really rushed past the batsman as he was looking to pull. I was just hoping that he overbalanced, but certainly he was in his ground.
I think this is going to be a very interesting over number 5. Will he bowl those conventional leg spinners, or would we see a number of faster balls coming up? Hazard will go into his stance, just looks around the field. Both umpires just having a dialogue. They've finished with it and all is ready. Here is almost unnoticed. We've lost a wicket. It seemed to have taken all of us by surprise, Raphael.
Yes, certainly. So let's replay to see what happens here.
It's interesting that. But of course, Hazard goes for 5. Let's see what we could make of this. What do you make of it, Raphael?
Well, it seems as though after the shot, he probably would have just stepped out
Yeah, so he was
off
stumped.
his wicket and probably been stumped.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what-
maybe that's what the appeal went up for.
Yeah, so he was in fact given out stumped. Interesting, almost an anticlimactic sort of dismissal. So Hippolyte comes in, just replaced Hazard. A dismissal like a run against the play, if you're talking football. Hippolyte will take strike from Fletcher, who is getting inside the line and pulling that around to backward square for 4. Bad delivery. Onto the back foot he went and just used the tide and used the pace of the delivery and hit it behind square for 4. So his first scoring shot of his first ball he has faced. And, well, Fletcher picking up the prize wicket of Hazard, but was greeted with a boundary. First ball that he's bowled. This one, he gets inside the line, turns it behind square again, this time not airborne, and with less pace, less power, but gets a single. He's gone to 5 and brings Ned, who is 25 of 10, into strike. This has turned out to be a good over for Andre Fletcher, isn't it? He's captured 1 for 5. And his 5th delivery is coming up. Bows to Ned, who comes forward and drives don't too long off, gets a single. Don't think he wanted to go underneath that one. went all along the ground. Field changing around now to accommodate the left-handed Hippolyte, who comes forward and drives the ball meekly and neatly up to deepish extra cover to culminate the over. So a good over here by Fletcher, just pluck things back a bit. 7 runs coming off his over. And Clove challengers after 5, we're at the halfway stage. They're 76 for 4.
Yeah, certainly. I think Clove, Nutmeg Warriors, we feel they probably just have the head in front, having picked up 4 wickets for 76. The dangerous Darren Ned is still there, 26 from 11. And they probably just need a further, seem to be 56 from the next 4 overs. But really an interesting game developing here, and really it's not over until the last ball.
Well,
quite an interesting position.
Yeah, at the halfway stage. The current run rate is 15. They require 11.
It will be very important in terms of the inning that Darren Ned plays. That to me will make the difference. What happens in the game?
Daniel McDonald brought in to bowl from the southern end. And Hippolyte has given way to Ned, who has played some quite enterprising shots. A mixture of brute force and elegance. It's been a tapestry of fine batsmanship. Can he carry on, let's say, to get a 50 and beyond? If he does so, then Clove challengers are in with more than a chance. Here's McDonald. And he's coming forward. And the catch has been taken, yes. So Ned has gone. Well, he came forward and drove that. It was going down to the extra cover area. And it was the fielder right down on the boundary there, taking the catch. And so the prize wicket of Darren Ned taken as he goes, caught by Oliver, I think, down there, of the bowling of McDonald for 26. And so Clove challengers, they've lost the big fish.
Yeah, and you can see the jubilation of the Nutmeg Warriors. You know, everybody running down to greet Oliver. He took that catch, and that speaks to the really important wicket of Darren Ned. Ball given somewhere, just pitch wide off the off stump, and we have seen it happen over and over. Batsmen have to reach for those deliveries, and many a times, you know, not getting to the pitch, hitting it down to a fielder. And Ned here, this one coming off the edge and flying down to third man. Third man was right back on the boundary, so it also tells you in terms of the power how hard he went to hit that delivery, coming off a spinner and to be taken on the boundary. It tells you something in terms of the power behind that shot.
Yeah, so both spinners have picked up one. The new batsman, Kurt Murray. So Murray and Hippolyte, both are not known to be great power hitters. I think with Hazard gone and Ned gone, well, Nutmeg Warriors would feel and begin to sniff maybe some little whiff of victory, but that's some way off. That one is hit very hard over the long on area by Hippolyte. Don't mark him out. That's gone for 6.
What you just said, they are not known to be power hitters, but this was well struck. Ball pitch up, and Hippolyte really came forward and hit that nicely, and over long on for 6.
Yeah, he's gone to 13. It's now 84 for 5. We're in over number 6. They're going to look for 2 here. They're going to come back. The return comes in. Good running. Saw the opportunity for the second. The first run was ran very quickly indeed. And they came back for the second speedily. And they got it.
The run rate continues to be very good. The wicket. But Court Murray is known to be one that scores a lot of runs, very good batter. Do has the ability also to clear the boundary. But it will be a lot of work.
6 overs gone, 86 for 5.
Yeah, at 86 for 5. And 4 overs remaining, and they really would want to push on this pair. 47 runs needed. So just over 11 runs per over, which is not impossible. But I think Nutmeg Warriors would feel that they are in a better chance to pull off this one.
Yeah. But they need to be getting over this next 2 overs. Must be thinking about getting, let's say, 12 runs per over. That's going to be important. You don't want your final over to be 15, for example. Fletcher bowls a leg spinner that Murray was looking to cut, didn't make contact. Again, looking to cut. That one was a bit closer. All goes into the gloves of Andrew behind the stumps. So good containing thing here. The faster one that he gets inside the line and just helped it on its way. And that has gone down to the fine leg area. Look at the faster one. But it was badly lined and hit over the fine leg area and went down to the boundary for 4. It is a conventional leg break that he cuts down to the sweeper, gets a single.
Well, quite a bit of support for both teams. Clove challengers. Support on the grounds. I still think that they have a chance, 91 for 5, but the scoring rate have been very good.
This one, he's off the back foot and he's pulling that through the straightish mid-wicket area. And
that's gone for another maximum carry power hit.
It was short.
And Ned again just stepping into this one and hitting it down over the long on fielder on the boundary.
Great shot by Hippolyte. This one, he opens the face of the bat, glides it down to third man, and they go for the single. So that completes the over. And at the end of 7 overs, it's now 98 for 5 with Murray not out 6. And Hippolyte, who is going strong, he's 22 of 9.
Yeah, already hit a couple to maximum. We do have a match on our hands. It's 33 required.
35.
Yes, 35 required from the next 3 overs. So they have kept up a pretty good scoring rate.
Yeah. But as I said earlier, they can't leave the last over to be really, really big. Oh, he's coming forward, lifting that in the air, and that's gone. It's gone straight over the bowler's head. Fine shot by Hippolyte.
Actually, he's taken by Fletcher on the
It
boundary.
was taken on the boundary. Well, you've got to excuse us, folk, because Fletcher is not within our eyesight. You may see him on the screen then now, yes, but not within our eyesight because of where we are at the commentary. But it looked as though that it was going over and Fletcher would have plucked it out of the air right back on the boundary. Yeah, no, I've just lifted my head and there he is, hands akimbo. So the catch was taken, thank you, Raphael. So Hippolyte maybe going for one too many, but the effort was good. And if he didn't take that, it would have gone all the way, I reckon, for 6. Sheldon Joseph comes out to replace Hippolyte, joins Murray. And McDonald has picked up 2 for 10. He has bowled well. And he's going to move in to bowl to Joseph. Joseph flashes outside the off stump. Not going where he intended, though. 99 now for 6. This is a very good match. Is it taken?
Yes, taken.
Yes, taken. Catch taken there at third man. He was looking maybe to hit that. Ball took the outer portion of the bat, falling over, but still had good sense of mind, frame of mind to grab that ball. So another wicket has just fallen.
So Court Murray there again looking to hit over the top when the ball coming off the edge and going fine. We probably, second slip would have been the fielder just going back a deep second slip. Very funny position. But the ball went up and he took it with both hands.
Yes, Alexander, good catch. So McDonald, Raphael, has picked up his 3rd wicket.
Yes, that's 3 for 11.
Richard Rogers has come out off the back foot.
Out, cotton ball.
Cotton bowled. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is quite amazing. McDonald took that and he took it nonchalantly. Look at him on his follow through. Came forward, drove at it, and it went back to the bowler. And it was a challenging catch, but just put his hands up, plucked it out of the air, and behaved as though nothing happened. But I can tell you something happened as Rogers goes, cotton bowl McDonald without scoring. And now Daniel McDonald has picked up 4 for 11.
Yes, really has turned this match on his head. Come back and pick up the streak in this over.
What's a good catch, Raphael?
Yeah, good catch. Very alert, taking this with both hands.
Jelani George joins Joseph. There is a collapse here. 99 for 8. May not turn out to be as close as we thought it would be. George takes an off-stump guard. McDonald, he's got 2 deliveries remaining. In, bowls, pushes it back to the bowler, who bends down, doesn't collect cleanly, ricochets and goes out about 10 yards to his right, but the batsman can't score. Last delivery. This time he would score. Pushed out, square of the wicket on the offside. They will come back for the second. The return comes in. And they get it. So 100 posted, Clove challengers 101 for 8. 8 overs gone. So 2 remaining. The challengers require 32 of 12 deliveries, and that's going to be a big asking.
Yeah, tall order, having lost 8 wickets. And really, the Nutmeg Warriors would have come back strongly. One thing that Clove challengers were able to do was to maintain a very good run rate right through. But certainly losing wickets regularly really put extra pressure on the lower half. And as such, McDonald just coming back there and picking up 4 wickets, 3 in the last over. Really put Nutmeg Warriors in the driving seat.
Well, that was hit over the mid-wicket area, and oh, that was close at the non-striker's end as the batsman was ambling back with anticipation of the second. It looked for a moment as though the ball was going to go over the boundary, and I think that's why the batsmen were reluctant maybe to go back for the second run, because they thought it would get there. But it was pulled back just inside. Great work. Really great work. Good fielding. 102 for 8 into the 9th. George is 2 of 2. Toussaint brought back. He's now 1 for 26. Pretty longish approach from the far end, and would move into bowl to George. George has taken a mental image of where the various players are. So there's a deep third, backward point, halfway there. Sweeper right back on the boundary. Extra cover is slightly extended. Mid-off, mid-on, and there's a deep mid-wicket, fine leg inside as Toussaint, 1 for 26 so far. George has been taking eternity to get into his stance. Yeah, he's going to do so now, probably trying to settle whatever nerves there might be. Short delivery. Looking to swing that. I was just curious as to whether the umpire would have signaled that as 1 for the over, but he felt it was not that short, or that high rather. Here is Toussaint again, bowls, and that's hit in the air and goes down to the fine leg area. They cross for 1. Another short pitch delivery.
Yeah, short delivery, and George not in position, just looking to swing it somewhere over mid-wicket, coming off the edge and go down to third man. Ball dropping just 1 bounce. Picked up by the third man fielder.
This time he gets good bat onto that one and goes down to the deep mid-wicket area. They did carry.
Yes, actually dropped by the mid-wicket fielder coming off the boundary. Got both chances, was not able to hold on, as we probably will see in the replay here.
Yes. And again, when 2 fielders are seeking to converge on a catch. Oh, that was sharp. Sharp, fast delivery. Well bowled there by Toussaint. He really bent his back into that one. And even Andrew had to really jump. He's a tall man, Andrew, but had to make height.
Yeah, quick delivery there. Really he had to actually get out of the way.
Yeah.
He was looking to pull.
Here is the final delivery coming up in over number 9. Saint has been aggressive in this over. He's bowled a few short stuff.
Well, he didn't start too well. Went for 26 in his first over.
But it's been a great comeback in the second. He's 1 for 29, and this is the last delivery in over number 9 in his second over, that is. Right up into the block hole and looking to turn that out on the onside. Looked a little awkward in the end. Will take the strike as they scurried for a single. So that completes over number 9, and Two Saint finishing with 1 for 30 of his 2. A bit expensive, but it was a good comeback.
Yeah,
Second over.
really good comeback. He was roughly treated in his first over, having to come up against the likes of Ned and being able to come back now and just go for 3 in the second over really have been a good response. But Clove challengers are really, well, out of it. They still need, let's see, for the 27 minutes last over. The fact that 8 wicket is down, looking really almost impossible. As Nutmeg Warriors is just looking to return the favor to take maximum point in this game.
Yeah, you're right. It looked much closer than this, Rafa, let's say about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I think what was significant is the rate of scoring Clove challengers. I don't think they would have had an issue in terms of the rate, but really would have lost too many wickets. They lost wickets only up front, and that would have really put a lot of pressure on the rest of the batsmen.
Belfon. Delivery that was short and pulled around. Nice shot. Nice shot by Joseph. Just rocked onto the back foot and pulled it around just to the left of the square leg umpire. And that went all the way for 4. Fine shot. It's now gone on to 9 of 6. Guilty of dropping short, Belfon. And he hit that well. Firmly. It went quickly. 110 for 8. So, here once more, it's Belfon in and bowls. And he is getting onto the back foot and hitting that in the air. And the catch has been taken. And so another wicket has fallen. The Nutmeg Warriors really closing in on victory here. Short delivery and was looking to cut, but was never in control. And so Joseph goes cut olive of the bowling of Belfon for 9. And, well, it looks very much as it's almost all over.
Yeah, well, there's not much you want to probably try to get as close as possible, but 110 with just 5 deliveries remaining. Really, it's an uphill task, and really, Nutmeg Warriors will come out really heavily here on top. They have played well and know they have been beaten before by Clove challengers, so it'll be a happy moment in that. The most important and critical game that would send them straight to the final. Nutmeg Warriors really going to go home on top in this one.
Amical Dubisset comes in, and here is Belfon. And he hits that in the air, goes down to the deep mid-wicket position. They come back for the second. They get 2 comfortably. Thought he hit that well. So he's off the mark immediately. Is Dubisset gone to 2. 3 deliveries remaining, 21 runs needed in the 3. Can Dubisset hit a boundary here? Can he? That's a big swing at that one. They will go for what might be a leg by. Let's wait to see if the umpire would confirm that it is. It isn't, so it did in fact get a nick onto that, did touch it. So Dubisset would go on to 3, brings George into strike, who is 3 of 2. Here is Belfon, and that is hit down to the third man area. It's not gone all the way though, but they will come back for the second run, and they get it in the end. Good running there by George. Saw the opportunity for the second run and called Dubisset for it. And Dubisset, who might have been a little bit tardy.
Yeah, actually, it seemed to have carried, and the fielder just failing to hold on. But one short signal there by the umpire.
So one shot.
Yeah, and the guilty person there would be the striker in Dubisset.
Yes. Guess wanting to scamper back for the second, not grounding. So it's a slow delivery. It probably was the slowest delivery of the match, and he had to wait eternity for it to reach him. So that completes this double header here, where Clove challengers, they've lost. Nutmeg Warriors winning, and they've won by 17 runs, which is a pretty large margin of victory. And what initially looked as though would be, Raphael, a close contest, in the end, I thought the challengers, Clove challengers, just faded away. And hats off to the Warriors, Nutmeg Warriors. They've won this by 17 runs.
Yeah, they played well. I think they played better all-around cricket. What we would have seen with Clove challengers the last 3 games, they seem to have struggled in terms of their batting. I was making mention at the point that the scores that they had the last 3 games at 110-78, and they actually struggled in this particular game, losing wickets right through. I think there was no question in terms of the rate they were scoring, but they have lost wicket regularly.
So let's just give you a little bit of the bowling. Josh Thomas had 2 for 15. Just the 1 over he bowled. Belfon came back strongly. 1 for 19 of 2, bowled the last over. Toussaint had 1 for 30, a bit expensive. None for 17 of 1 over was Charles. Fletcher picked up 1 for 19 of 2, rather economical. Same for Daniel, rather economical, but he picked up 4 for 13. It was an absolutely splendid bowling display by Daniel McDonald, and of course he would be searching for a man of the match award. So all of the bowlers, they've contributed pretty well for Nutmeg Warriors. The outstanding one, the one that really stood quite remarkably, was McDonald, who picked up 4 for 13. And I thought when both he and Andre Fletcher came on, you saw a little bit of changing of the tide for that of the batting of Clove challengers.
Yeah, you're right. That's really slowed it down a bit. And then we see McDonald coming in his second over and picking up 3 wickets in that over.
So Jackson didn't score, just a 1 ball he faced. He was caught by Fletcher of the bowling of Thomas. Samuel Charles scored 8. He would be disappointed with that. Again, a bit of a bad run for Cato, who was let before to Toussaint for 4 or 5 deliveries. Darren Ned batted very well, outstanding. Just 12 balls for his 26. Had 2 4s and 2 6s. Javed Hazard was stumped. Andrew of the bowling of Fletcher for 23 of 6. He was really going, had 3 6s and a 4. And Darren Hippolyte, who struck 2 6s and a 4, batted very well for his 22 of 10. Kurt Murray was caught Chris Alexander of the bowling of McDonald for 6 of 6. And looking at the rest of the batting, we had Sheldon Joseph was caught Olive of the bowling of Belfont for 9. Richard Rogers, Cotton Bowl, McDonald for no score. And there were extras of 9, 2 leg bys, 7 wides, and it was not necessarily the best batting performance by Clove challengers, who in the end could muster only 115 for 9. So the Nutmeg Warriors winning this by 17 runs, which is quite convincingly.
Yeah, good convincing win. I thought the batting of probably Hippolyte, not Hippolyte, but a batting of Darren Ned and probably Hazard still could have made a difference in the middle there, because they really started to push it. Hazard hitting 2 maximum and a 4, and really still looked, even though they were lost some wickets, but they still look as though they could have taken it to the end. But the loss of the wicket of Hazard, I think, would have changed things. And Darren Ned being put under a lot of pressure, he being the only batter there, really was looking to take things into his own hands and held out on the third man boundary. And I think from there, I think that the Clove challengers really would have fell apart. And all credit to the Nutmeg Warriors, who would have bowled well, stuck to the plan, and been able to come out on top in this one.
132 was always going to be a difficult task for the Clove challengers, but quite frankly, they got off to a rousing start, and with the exception of losing wickets in rather regular intervals, and that, of course, is what really brought about their demise, but they were certainly, for the most part of the run chase, on course, right up there with the required run rate. However, I think the last 3 or so overs, that's when, having lost the majority of wickets and with the run rate just steepling a bit, made it quite difficult and on to the point of impossible. Warriors winning in the end by 17.
Well, they do have another chance, Clove challengers. They're going to play against the team that won earlier on today, Cinnamon Pieces. So they still have an opportunity of probably getting into the finals. This is a team that would have played now, only lost. This is only the second game they would have lost through the tournament. So they do have another chance. But, I hasten to see that the batting in the last few games somewhat is not what we expect or what we have seen earlier in the tournament. And it's so important how you finish and maybe not how you start.
You're right. The finish line is what's important, and the ability to go over the finish line and to go over effectively. That's going to be very important for the Clove challengers. But today was not going to be their day against the Warriors. The Warriors prevailed like true Warriors, and I guess just shortly we'll be having the post-match. Just shortly we'll be having the post-match ceremony. But just a couple of days remaining, Rafael, in this tournament, and it's still rather open. You can't really say who's going to come home with the championship. Of course, Nutmeg Warriors, they're the defending champions. They've been playing good cricket too, but it'll be interesting to see who will end up in the final. Let's go downstairs for the post-match ceremony.
Thank you very much. At the end of Qualifier 1, we see the Nutmeg Warriors booking their spot straight into Sunday's final, with the Clove challengers getting a second bite of the cherry, where they have to play the Nawasa Cinnamon Pacers in tomorrow's Qualifier 2. Here with me to speak to us first is Mr. Roland Cato, the captain of the Clove challengers. Cato. Roland, today we see that the Clove challengers winning streak has unfortunately come to an end. What did you think went wrong for the challengers today?
I think we didn't stick to our plan as long as possible. I know the guys got after a flyer. Kudos to Fletcher and the next guy. I think they played good shots, so that's it.
Okay, and what adjustments can we expect from the Clove challengers tomorrow?
Tomorrow I think we will be more specific in sticking to our plans and trying to come out there and execute. Just one bad game here today. Tomorrow a new day, so it's just about the guys coming and apply themselves, no pressure.
Okay, thank you and all the best in tomorrow's qualifier. With us now we have the winning captain, Mr. Andre Fletcher from the Nutmeg Warriors. Andre, another season, another finals for the Nutmeg Warriors. Tell us, what exactly is the secret?
Good cricket, I must say. The guys, they have been, confident, comfortable, and it's just going out there and expressing themselves. We've been put under immense pressure, I must say, but thank God we came through. It hasn't finished as yet. Honestly, whatsoever happened in the finals, it will be, but the main thing, I'm back in the finals again.
Okay, and we see yesterday you had somewhat of a crippling defeat, but you bounced back strong today. What sort of preparation did the team do overnight to prepare for this important qualifier?
Yesterday's game wasn't that important, I must say, as much as, yes, we would love to win it, but it was about giving the guys the chance, who didn't play, the chance to go there and, just enjoy themselves. I must say Cinnamon played well yesterday, but today was the big day. Everything was in it. As you can see, I was a bit emotional, passionate. That's how I play my cricket. I play as hard as I can, and I'm happy to be on the winning side.
Okay, thank you very much, and all the best in Sunday's final.
Right, thank you.
We now move on to the presentation for our star players today. We begin with the prize for the Global Services Inc. Impact Bowler of the Match. The Impact Bowler of the Match today is Mr. Daniel McDonald. Unfortunately, collecting for him will be Mr. Chris Alexander from the Nutmeg Warriors, as he is unavailable to collect his prize. Okay. Okay, our next prize will be the prize for the carry power hitter, being the player that hit the most sixes, and that goes to Mr. Dijon Charles from the Nutmeg Warriors. He will be collecting his prize from Assistant Secretary Ms. Lydia Edgar. Dijon, your name seems to be synonymous with sixes this year. What do you think is working for you?
Just backing myself to hit the ball out of the park, that is basically it.
Okay, and I know you mentioned in the past that your aim is to make it to the finals to be MVP. How are you prepared? You've made it to the finals, so what can we expect?
Obviously, cross one hurdle, get into the finals. Is to just finish the job and make my team come out victorious in the end.
Okay, thank you and congratulations. Our final presentation today goes to the man of the match. The man of the match for the qualifier is Mr. Daniel McDonald, who took 4 wickets for 13 runs. Collecting on his behalf is Mr. Chris Alexander. And that is it for today's matches here at the Lasser Just Playing Field. Back up to you in commentary.